When you're ready.
Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for February the 6th, 2023 is now in session. I'm going to ask our new Director of Health Director, Garrett Giozzi, to come up and do our Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Will you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gary will be on the agenda for later in the meeting. I'm going to give him an opportunity to introduce himself and give a little bit of his background at that point. So with that, I'd like to make introductions. I'm Gary Merrill, County Commissioner, Vice President this year. Commissioner Benton is not with us today. To my right is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis, our County Administrator Tracy Davis, and our Deputy Administrator Eric Hostedler, and of course our two clerks, Sarah and Jennifer. Let's proceed.
Resolution number 23-79, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held January 30th, 2023.
So move.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-79. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today, so that brings us to item number 3, resolution number 23-80. In the matter of approving purchase orders and announce certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0203.
So move.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-80. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-81, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So move.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-81. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-82, in the matter of reappointing members to the Concord Scioto Community Authority Board of Trustees.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We have before you a resolution. Both members are asking if they could be reappointed. Bob Grant, who is a citizen member of several terms, and Tiffany Mag is the local government representative, and we recommend their approval.
I'd just like to thank them for their service.
Yeah, Bob and Tiffany are always able and willing to serve, and we appreciate that very much. If there's no other comments, call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-82. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 23-83, in the matter of approving a service agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Integrated Protection Services Incorporated for fire alarm and fire suppression system inspection.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Randy Almeroyd, Facilities Maintenance Coordinator. Just if you guys have any, comments or questions on this. This is a service contract we have for our fire protection and, for all the county buildings.
Same,
Same.
Yeah.
same everything.
Yep.
Any comments or questions? Call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-83. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-84, in the matter of approving an easement to American Electric Power in conjunction with the Berlin Business Park Pump Station Project.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is just a 10-foot wide easement to bring AEP service into the Berlin Business Park site. They plan to start the installation of this soon after we sign the easement.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 23-84. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Resolution number 23-85, in the matter of authorizing the purchase of equipment for the engineer's office.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Bodnar, Administrator for the Engineer. For your consideration, this piece of equipment is a 2023 Cabelco mini excavator and will be purchased from Southeastern Equipment in the amount of $120,425. It is through the Cooperative Purchase Program through the Ohio Department of Administrative Services. And as the Commissioners, I'm sure know, the mini excavator is utilized for ditching, ditch cleaning, ditch digging. So it's an important piece of equipment. It was budgeted for this year's purchase, and we're hoping that the board will approve.
And I'm sure you're very knowledgeable. You know exactly how to use it, right?
Well, I had a toy one when I was young.
Any other questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-85. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-86, in the matter of approving an easement to Ohio Power Company for future Home Road and Pyatt Road roundabout relocation in Orange Township.
So moved.
Second discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this easement is for electrical utility relocation to the roundabout area. The future roundabout is at Home Road and Pyatt Road, and it's in Orange Township. The construction project will begin later this year with completion next year. So this will allow the establishment of the utilities within the road right-of-way there.
Questions or comments? Call for vote.
Vote on motion 23-86, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 23-87, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second discussion.
2 standard utility permits, Commissioners, nothing of unusual circumstance involving them.
Short list today.
It is, sir. I could get that number right this time because of that.
Call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-87, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 23-88, in the matter of establishing a new organizational key.
So moved.
Second discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Justin Avi, Director of Finance. This is just a basic request to modify the chart of accounts so that we can track the revenues and expenses on the Meyer opioid settlement.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 23-88, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 23-89, in the matter of approving an advance of funds and a supplemental appropriation for the English number 346 watershed.
So moved.
Second discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Again, this is for a watershed project that was, the hearing process was completed last year. There's a desire to go forward with this project in 2023, so this will just provide the budget and the cash advance to fund the project itself.
Questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-89, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Before we
Thanks,
reach
Justin.
item number 13, we would like to hear from our new health commissioner, Garrett.
We're going to allow Garrett to introduce himself, and then we'll consider the resolution.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for having me today. My name is Garrett Giozzi, and I have the pleasure and honor of serving as your Delaware County Health Commissioner. My appointment started on January 1, and it has been a whirlwind so far. So I want to thank you and your staff and the team here at the Board of Commissioners for a really nice, warm welcome. It's just been great being able to reach out and starting to get to know everyone. So I am very appreciative of that, as is my team at the Health Department. Just some background about myself. I previously served as the Ross County Health Commissioner for about 2.5 years. And then prior to that, I was with Franklin County Public Health for about 14 years, serving primarily in the environmental health, food safety division. So very fortunate to have served as a health commissioner prior to coming here. So I feel like my feet have already been wet and I already know the job. So that part hasn't been a challenge, but needless to say, we have a lot of good opportunities ahead of us. And just wanted to thank you all for your continued partnership with the Health District and support that you have given, and look forward to continue to receiving as we move forward.
Garrett, I had the opportunity to have lunch with him a week or two ago to get acquainted, and I think the county is going to be well served by your being part of our county, and I look forward to working with you. Commissioner Lewis, do you have any comments?
Sure. Garrett was at our emergency management meeting the other day, and where I first met him. And I had wondered, how did Ross County fare during the pandemic?
Yeah, so it was interesting. I guess I had chosen to take a very steady approach, how I handled that pandemic. We followed as many guidelines as I thought we could without upsetting the apple cart, so to say, within our own local economy and with our school districts. They fared very similarly to Delaware in terms of sort of cases. Vaccination rate there is much lower. It is a different sort of geography down south. But overall, I would say case rates and outcomes were very similar. I was one of the few health commissioners really pushing to reopen our schools in the beginning, and I think that had a lot to do with our sort of community support we were able to gather for that and to get our children back into learning in person. So we choose to really work very closely with our business community, making sure that we were doing what was in the best interest of health and within business and government and nonprofit as well.
And that's Chillicothe, is
Yes.
that your largest city? Yes. How
The
many-
only city in
Yeah,
Chillicothe.
the only city. Oh, okay.
So Ross County had about 76,000 people.
Okay, thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much.
One question. Do you mind filling the commissioners in on how the new building's coming?
Yes, so as you all know, I think what seems like the last decade, we've been trying to build a new building. We are very close to completion. We are tentatively scheduled to take possession the middle of March, which is great news. We are, sort of winding up into full-on move mode and clean mode. Our current property is under contract, which is also excellent news. We should have if everything goes according to plan, a formal announcement about that sale coming within a month. So very excited to both be out of the new building and finally into the new building.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Gee.
Very good. Anything else?
No, that's all
Thank you,
right.
Garrett. Read the resolution.
Okay, item number 13, resolution number 23-90, in the matter of approving the Ohio Department of Health subrecipient agreement between the Ohio Department of Health and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners for U4U supplemental tuberculosis program funding.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Were either of you commenting on it, or?
As long as Garrett's here?
Yes,
I'll defer
I
to
would,
Garrett.
I would be happy to do this. So this is pass-through funding from the federal government to the Ohio Department of Health and then to boards of commissioners who oversee local TB control units. You all have designated the health district as the TB control unit for the county, which is common across the state. This funding in particular was regarding Ukraine immigration and relocation due to the war in Ukraine. What it allowed us to do is to really bolster our screening for those immigrants coming in from Ukraine, whether on a temporary or a relocation basis. So this pass-through funding is for $8,509, which will be received to you all from ODH, which came from the federal government. For some backstory, I thought it would be good for me to share the numbers of TB. So in 2022, we had 2 active cases of TB. One of those is still active now. And then we had 7 immigration investigations. So that was tied to primarily this Ukraine relocation assistance program from the federal government. So when we look at TB, it's a respiratory disease, most often spread by those individuals who have TB but do not know that they have TB. We consider that sort of latent TB. And then when we treat these individuals, it's very prolonged. It can go on for up to 9 months. Most of the time, it's a daily course of antibiotics and other additional treatments, but it's a very long treatment process. So the time intensity of our staff and the clinicians working with that, we do have to do daily monitoring in many cases. So we do have to reach out to these individuals who are active TB cases, ask them about their symptoms, their exposures, are they taking their medications every day? And so that's really what this funding helps us cover, is the monitoring and screening of those TB patients.
So they are contagious then?
They are contagious until they start receiving treatment. So once they receive treatment, we really try to restrict their movement to really try to make sure that they know they can spread this to other people. So it's important for us to get their chest x-rays and other screening to make sure that if they are an active infection, they receive that treatment as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? I do have a comment that I'm going to read. First of all, I appreciate, Garrett, your presentation. I thought you did an excellent job explaining why this is so important. I wish to first make it clear that I fully support testing Ukrainians entering our country to see if they are infected with tuberculosis. But I must state the absurdity, the dishonesty, the hypocrisy of the current administration that allows 250,000 illegals to enter our country each month along our southern border. And it should be noted that there are estimates over the last 2 years that these illegals have entered our borders from over 130 different countries. Who is testing these people for tuberculosis? Each of you know the answer to that question. Therefore, just to make a point, testing Ukrainians being resettled into our country would be comparable to losing a finger in an industrial accident, and the medical solution is to apply a Band-Aid. In closing, again, I support this testing, but it's time we eliminate the dishonesty, the absurdity, and the hypocrisy that is occurring at the southern border every day. With that, I call for the vote.
Vote on motion 23-90. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye. I believe we have need for executive session.
We do.
Do we have something else?
Did you, well, did
Oh,
you
that's
want
right.
to do
Reports.
administrative reports?
We haven't heard
and
from our,
Okay.
our administrator yet.
Well, Tracy Davies, County Administrator, I think today is a very special day. We have a Commissioner
I'm sorry I asked for
Merrill,
this now.
who has birthday. So happy birthday. You're always very kind to give birthday greetings to everyone, so we all wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you. I share this date with Babe Ruth and Ronald Reagan, so thank you very much. Eric, do you have anything for us?
No, I don't, thanks.
With that, I believe, Commissioner Lewis, do you have anything?
Yes, I do.
Go for
Happy
it.
birthday.
Okay.
And I would like to thank our Deputy Sheriff, Darren, for Mosen, for all the protection that you give us. You're here all the time when we're in session, and always watching over us and protecting us, and so appreciate your time and effort. Oh, thank you.
Do you have a speech? Thank you. With that, I have nothing else to add, other than we do have need for executive session.
Yes. Resolution number 23-91, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of security arrangements and emergency response protocols.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-91. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.